Come on. There we go. Okay. Gotta pop out the chat, put it on the other screen. And do this and that, and I think we are set. All of my nose itches. I think I have to sneeze. Maybe not. Maybe. Hard to say. Wait. There we go. Post sneeze. There we go. Oh, geez. The cats mess with my chair. There's like little levers on the side, and they like to pull on them and stuff, and it's really annoying, and it messes up my chair. Everything needs to be adjusted all the time. Nurgle Matthew, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hello from Pomerania. We'll have a third session of Star Wars Legion nearest Friday. Plenty fun. Nice. Real wargaming for real wargamers. Let's hope. Yeah. Darth, how you doing? Did some morning stretches. It's a good idea. I need to do that more myself. And I'm slowly basing all the Robot Legion models I got from Broken Truth starter box. Nice. Those guys are cool. There's sand everywhere. That'll happen. Yeah. Dragonfire, how are you doing? Hello from a chilly Ontario morning. Hope you've had time to check out the Uncle Lens Flare Mini. I did look at it. I don't get the reference. Like, I know it's a badger and the snarling badger, but I don't know what Uncle Lens Flare means. I've been meaning to ask that. I looked at it. It's a good looking miniature. He's like a bipedal badger guy with like a rocket launcher or something, but I don't know. I don't think I'm smart enough to understand the lens flare reference, so I apologize for that. Oh, good. Now my nose is going to be all stuffed up. Chores done. Errands run. Nice. Hope everyone's doing well. Painting up some Fed Sun battle mechs. Nice. Ralph, good time of day. Good morning thus far. Yeah, so far. Rodney, hope you're doing well. Rodney got a tattoo yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday or was it Friday? I think it was yesterday. Good Sunday morning from Sarnia, Ontario. 51 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's going to get mid-50s today and then a little bit warmer tomorrow, so that'd be nice. When I looked at the weather report for the next, 7 to 10 days or whatever, it was the first time in a long time that it doesn't look like there's any rain, which would be great because we are very soggy. It has been raining a lot and everything is moist, and we would like it to be less so in general. Those of us with basements, you know what I mean? So there's that. Checking in from a still too cold South Ontario. Gotcha. Good evening from Brisbane. How you doing? Stefan Kors, how you doing? Jebbies, morning from Ottawa. Hope you are having a good weekend so far. Yeah, yesterday was mostly, I did some hobby stuff for next week's video. And I also, what else did I do? I worked on some game stuff for the game company. And I watched a movie. It was very weird. There's a movie that I enjoy a good deal called Payback from 1999. It has Mel Gibson in it, which is not necessarily the part that I like, but it's a well-done movie and I enjoyed it. And so I went to watch it yesterday on some streaming service or whatever, and it was like, oh, the director's cut. I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe it'll be like some extra footage or whatever. Very different movie. Very different movie. Cannot recommend. It's actually, the director was wrong. And then I looked it up a little bit and found a video about what happened. And basically, they did the movie, which is the director's cut. And then Mel Gibson was like, well, this isn't any good. And then they fired the director, got a new director, reshot 30% of the movie, and then that's what's the theatrical one, which I think is a much better story. I cannot suggest the director's cut of Payback. It's really bad. If you've seen the movie, you know how Chris Christopherson is in it? He's not in the director's cut. He's got kind of a major role in the original theatrical release. He's not in the director's cut. It's real dumb. So I wish I would have watched the other version. But now I know, don't I? Let's see here. Upside to being stuck at home sick on a Sunday morning is that I can watch Uncle Adam live. Nice. I mean, it's not nice that you're sick, but you know. Afternoon from the French Alps. How you doing? Good afternoon from Kent, England. Good morning from Des Moines. Just got moving. Nice. The muttering has begun, as it does. Skirmish games for the win. Absolutely. Good afternoon from Birmingham. Good. Hello. How you doing, Motor Breath Jazz? Good morning from an almost sunny and cool mid-Michigan. Nice. Good morning from Richmond, VA. From slightly colder Clearwater, Florida. Sure. It says it's 7 Celsius, but it feels like 0. Oh, goodness. Good morning from gloomy Los Angeles County. Aiming to make time to work on my minis before the work week hits. Makes sense. Grendel, good morning. Gio, you put their hype-inducing drugs in my coffee. Happens every edition. Must fight. Still want some Blood Angels, though. I didn't watch the event. It started directly after my Friday stream. Like I got done at 1 and it started at 1. And I couldn't be bothered. So I was like, I needed to eat lunch and do some other errands and stuff like that. So I did that. And I did not watch the presentation, but I went and looked at the stuff later on. And I don't know. It was fine. Like, I don't know. That guy's cool, I guess. You know, he's neat. That guy looks like it's like they've made that same guy 16 times, I swear to God. Like that was the thing that I noticed was that nothing here is new. Now, I'm not saying that nothing here is an old sculpt. They're all completely new sculpts. You know, new sculpt, but we've had captains before. Maybe not necessarily with that cool shield or whatever. That guy looks like 6 different librarians in the past 10 years. Guy's cool, but yeah, you know, jump pack guys, yeah, we've had them. Guy holding a big banner, already had that. Intercessors, already had those. Heavy bolters, had those guys already. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing here. Like this is kind of new, but I think we've had a Primaris version of this, haven't we? Just nothing like really interesting. I don't know, at least in my opinion. The orcs got something I thought that was pretty cool. That's not the, what did I do? I clicked on the wrong thing. Where's the orc part? Oh, here, orcs. So I don't know, that guy's a guy. Sure. Yep. That's a guy. Yep. Sure. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. Great. Okay. Sure. Guys. Yep. Uh-huh. Guy on a thing. That's cool. The big mech Decarig. That thing's kind of cool. That's pretty dope. I have not seen them do that before, particularly. Like having orcs and mechs, I'm like, all right, you kind of got my attention now. That's kind of neat. Like I don't see myself doing anything with this. I don't know that I'm going to get it or anything like that, but it's pretty cool looking. I'm not going to lie. If they started adding some of these to that Speed Freaks video game, then it would make me more interested in playing the Speed Freaks video game, I think. But yeah, I don't know. That's like about it. That just, I don't know. It's not much in the box that really trips my trigger, as it were. Let me see here. Morning from the Philippines. How you doing? Video title for today's show hits home. I'm running OPR Grimdark Firefight at CarnageCon in Vermont in October. Nice. Good morning from Lexington, Kentucky. Working on my Doom 1490 fellas to make into a Repent Sept. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Greetings from Luxembourg. Greetings from Gilbert, Arizona. How you doing? Town for a little historical convention called Sand Wars. Fun. VJ Morph, how you doing? Jesse Daniel, morning from a sunny Milwaukee. We are cloudy here. We're not sunny. Good Sunday from Denmark. How you doing? Busy painting up figures for Masters of the Universe Battleground in a more grimdark fashion. Ooh, that sounds fun. Greetings from Berlin, Germany. Hello from Colorado, Levittown, Pennsylvania, Toronto. Good morning from New Jersey. Just received my OPR Grimdark Future starter set, so I'm real interested in your topic today. Nice. Glad to be here and TMX next month. So much to do, indeed. Been playing StarQuest like crazy, playing my own custom campaign and having a blast. Exactly. That's very cool. Very cool. Thinking about creating a Havoc Dwarves force for Age of Fantasy. I am interested in making my own forces as well. I've started to mess with it a little bit, but I think I need to learn more. And I think I need to go about it a different way. I'll probably talk about that at some point during the show. Coming from Los Angeles, Firefight is 80% of my hobby time lately. Nice. Another greeting from Berlin, Germany. Nice. Good to see you live. Hope you've been doing well. Not too bad. Not too bad, Catmaster. Let's see here. Good morning from a suspiciously pleasant Saskatchewan. Mother Nature has been a mean drunk for the last few weeks, but is currently passed out in the back. Well, that's good. That's good to hear. Uncle because you're Uncle Adam. Lens flare because he has a laser bazooka, which lasers have lenses. Oh, plus you like to... Okay, all right, gotcha. See, I thought it was just a regular bazooka. I didn't realize it was a laser bazooka. Gotcha. Param, how you doing? We have 2 days of summer, sun and 27C before it is getting proper gray and cool next week. Yeah, I mean, there are parts of the country that are like, well, we already had summer. And we're like, no, we haven't had much of that at all. I think we took the cats out one day. We took the boys, George and Rex, out on leashes one day when it was nice. Otherwise, they're not interested if it's not nice. Yeah, we had the windows open one day too, I think, yeah. Try to decide if I'm going to build a unit for Majestic 13, paint some MCP, write some more on a Grimdark Future mini campaign, or just cut grass. I mean, I would do all of those but the cut grass part. That's, I don't know. Howdy from a chilly Nova, getting through some more Grand Cathay dudes to the dulcet tones of your radio voice. Well, I appreciate that. I'm currently a little bit sniffly, so I don't know how dulcet the tones are, but I will give it a good try. Basement dehumidifier running full-time here because we're damp and squishy. Yeah, we got two. Well, actually, one's off right now because it hasn't rained in a minute. So I'm only running one right now. But up until about Friday, I was running two pretty much nonstop. And there have been a couple of times where I've been running two and also a bunch of box fans. Because, yeah, it rained and rained and rained and rained and rained and rained for days. And then we started to get this trickle from directly below where I am now because I'm in the sunroom. And so directly below the sunroom, there's this little offshoot of the basement, which we refer to as the root cellar. I don't know why we call it that. There's no roots in there. But that's what we call it. And so the water starts here, and then it runs through the door of the root cellar into the basement. And right in the middle of the basement, there is a drain, and it just goes down the drain. So it doesn't like get standing, but it's not cool. And if it gets really, really rainy and damp, then over by the stairs into the basement, it also starts to get little rivulets and stuff. And there's another drain over there. We do not have a sump pump. I wish we did. That would have been really super sweet, but we don't. So that's where we're at. Chill is finally starting to bite here in Australia. We had a pretty moderate summer, but I'm enjoying the chilly creeping into the air, or the chill creeping in the air. There you go. Morning from Dallas, building an Orc Stompa. Nice. Good morning from out in the middle of nowhere in rural Indiana. How you doing? Good afternoon from dreary gray Amsterdam, designing and printing pre-colored bases for my jungle Darl elves from Lustria. Nice. Payback is a cool movie. Turns out not the director's cut, but yeah, I like it quite a bit. Also, the director's cut, you know how like everything in the movie, the normal theatrical release, has got this sort of like desaturated kind of bluish grade to it. Yeah, doesn't have that in the director's cut. The director evidently didn't like it. or something. I don't know. It's weird. And I didn't notice it until the guy mentioned it in the video that I watched later. I was like, oh yeah, everything was a lot more colorful than I remember. Just weird. Played my first OPR Grimdark last week, working on my Star Wars Legion today. Nice. Finally found out about a local show and painting competition in advance. That's pretty cool. Mel sucks a lot as a person. Seems to be the case, yes. But in that era, he did know movies very well. Yeah, I really enjoyed that movie. I think that was slightly before he started to get real problematic. But yeah. How popular are safe and sound foams magnetic trays in USA, or what brand is popular there for this kind of project? For foam trays and stuff like that, probably the most well-known is probably Battle Foam. They're based out of Arizona. I've got a lot of Battle Foam bags. The thing I like about the Battle Foam bags is that I even had my own custom, well, not custom, well, yeah. I mean, do I have one in here? I don't. But I sold last year, there was a small little Battle Foam bag. It's called their Pack Mini, and they built it. It's normally in like black or whatever, but they did one in like red and black, and they embroidered my logo on it, and we sold 300 of those. It was like a limited run custom Tabletop Minions Battle Foam bag. But it's a small little bag. But the thing I like about their bags is that they are like this ballistic nylon canvas, but it's 2 layers of ballistic nylon canvas on each panel, and then in the middle is a piece of hard plastic, like sandwiched in between the ballistic nylon. So it makes the bags very rigid, and helps protect against like kicks and punches and stuff to some degree or whatever. But they make bags in all kinds of different sizes, from the tiny little like skirmishy bag that I had up to, I don't know, that thing the size of a dorm fridge. You know what I mean? Like just a humongous giant bag for like your entire giant army. Who else makes foam bags in America? I don't know if anyone else makes them here. I mean, to be fair, I don't know that necessarily the Battle Foam bags are made in the States. I'm pretty sure they're made in China, but the foam is all cut in America because they used to use a laser, but I don't know if they use a laser anymore. They might use a water cutter. I don't know exactly what they use, but they can custom cut the stuff there. So anyway, otherwise there's KR Multicase. KR Multicase, I think, is maybe based out of the UK. And I'm not sure of any other ones. There are some other ones, I'm sure. Morning from Hartford, Wisconsin. How you doing? Morning from Northern Indiana. Currently enjoying a short walk before I finish assembling my Legion Rebels starter box. Hope everyone's doing well. Nice. Payback is based on the Parker novels, I believe. The Parker graphic novels by Darren Cook are excellent. Yeah, evidently, like he wrote that Parker novel, the guy who wrote it, I can't think of his name. And then he was like, it got popular, and then he wrote, I don't know, 25 more or something like that. I was like, oh, geez. Hi from Quebec City. Finally finished my Tau stealth mech after 2 years. Nice. Is that Lucy Liu and Mel Gibson? Yes. Lucy Liu, and actually she's credited as Lucy Alexis Liu. It was very early in her career, I think. Just finished a pile of Skaven. Feels good. Nice. Listening in live from Seattle. I'm painting an Angels of Death kill team as Blood Ravens, not Reavers, Blood Ravens. Have you done anything with your damned models? As a matter of fact, I have. Not all of them, but some of them I've started. So for like the last 3 weeks, I was in heavy layout mode for the next game and everything. We sent that off last weekend, and to the printing company. And then we haven't gotten the proof back yet, but we have ordered the proof. Basically, you send off the file, and then Wargame Vault has to look at it to make sure everything looks right. And then they send it to the printing company that actually does the printing, and then they set it through their service and look at it and go, okay. And it's called pre-flight. Basically, it's a thing you do in printing. When you've designed something, the designer sends it to the printing company, and the printing company runs pre-flight on it to make sure it will actually print and make sure all the fonts are in the right spot. And because sometimes if you send stuff and you don't send the right files, then things can be missing. And anyway, So you do this pre-flight thing, and then once that's cool, then they come back to us and they say, okay, now you can order a printed proof. And you have to order a proof, and you have to receive it before you can start selling your printed product. So this past Tuesday, we received notice that we could now order a printed proof, so we ordered one. And we put it on, we did it next day air, but that doesn't mean that they will get it to you tomorrow. That means that when they do eventually print it, then they will send it next day air. So it doesn't speed things up in the printing, it just speeds things up in the shipping. It also costs $132 for next day air. I'm like, all right, cool. Anyway, what was my point? Oh yeah, so I've been doing that pretty much nonstop. And so I got that sent off, and I've been now working on card layouts and everything like that and doing other things. But my next week's video, this upcoming Friday's video, the damned are going to be in it. It's not about them necessarily. It's actually about the oh, they're downstairs too. It's going to be about the new. How long have I been talking without the title? You can't see me. Did I just do that? What happened? Sorry. God bless America. Anyway, what was my point? The video is going to be about the new line, some of the new historical paints from the Army Painter, and how I don't use them for historical stuff, but I still like some of them. And so I'm painting some of the damned. I have 5 of the damned models that I have built, and their bases have been, textured, and they've been airbrushed, a base color and all that stuff, and primed and whatnot and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, sorry about that, folks. I don't know. I don't know how I ended up back on that screen. That's so weird. See, downstairs, I have the little push button thingy for changing screens, but up here I have to go click over it on the screen to do it, which I guess makes kind of sense because I'm here by the screen, whereas downstairs I'm not anywhere near the screen. So there's that too. Let's see. Movie called Payback with Mel Gibson. I can think of a lot of things I'd like to see in that movie. Sure. Watched Balls Up last night. Very funny if you're into juvenile genital-based humor. I haven't heard of that. Let's see here. Happy Sunday, checking in from Charlotte, North Carolina. About to get dirty down, rusting up some guard tanks. Nice. We're from sunny and cool Newark, Delaware. By the way, after watching your video on the Bamboo A1, I grabbed one and I love it. Time to print some bullet shrines and duck boards for Trench Crusade. I actually bought some STLs yesterday for trench terrain. Now, I already have the trench terrain that comes from the Trench Crusade people. But the thing is that all they made was just the walls. So they make them of a certain height, so you have to buy the right kind of foam, and then you stick the foam in there, and then, this is like from the side. So you have a piece of foam, and you print the walls to kind of go up over the top of the thing, and then they have the textures and all that kind of stuff. But you have to use the foam to do it, which is fine and everything, but I'm like, eh. So I saw an ad. There's a company called Tabletop Terrain, I believe, and they basically just print stuff and sell it. They have licenses to print all kinds of different things and sell it. And I saw one of their ads, and they had these cool trench terrain things. Well, if you go to their website, they always list at the bottom of the description for the thing that they're selling where it is licensed from. And then you can go and look for it on My Mini Factory, and then you can pay the designer to buy the STLs and then print it yourself. And then you don't have to have the terrain whatever their people call it, tabletop terrain people print it for you. Now, if you don't have a printer and you want it, yeah, get it from them. I've bought things from them in the past before I had a printer, and they've been great. Because they used to always have a booth at Nova Open in DC. Anyway, but now I have a printer. So anyway, just yesterday I bought the STLs, and I haven't started printing yet, but I've been looking at them a little bit. So I'm going to give that a try. Let's see here. Ready to start painting a building I got at the Narrow Gauge Convention in Townsville. Nice. Space Marine release was Snooze City. Yeah, I felt like it was too. Don't call them meh-reens. Ah, I get you. Got the A1 Mini after watching the video, and I wish I'd saved up for the A1. It's fine for minis, but I wish I could print bigger terrain. That is the one downside of the Mini, is that the print plate's a bit smaller. Yeah. I'm fine with it not being a lot of new rules needed. That's how game bloat happens. Sure. Yeah, I agree. Greetings from Amtrak. Heading home from Valhalla Gaming Retreat in Utah. Oh, hey, how you doing? There was some of our games at the Valhalla thing. Ruben, aka the Chronic Toast, he was giving away some prizes and stuff to people who were playing games at Valhalla, and so I sent him some copies of our books. Terrence, how you doing? Good time today. On my way to spend time with my brother after his knee replacement. Oh yeah. My mom had both of her knees replaced at the same time. Apparently the combat patrol with my stealth mech is no longer valid. Thank God for miniature agnostic games. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be real interesting to see what they do with combat patrol, because they really kind of haven't said much, have they? Have they said yet what's going to happen with combat patrol in 11th edition? Jazzed for the Orc Daka rig. It's very cool looking, I think. Good morning from Chile Reynoldsburg. Since discovering OPR, no other rule set matters. It's a great rule set. It really is. I was looking at this. So they now sell a printed book if you're interested. I did not realize that this happened relatively recently. For the longest time, you've only been able to get it in PDF. But now, if you want to get a soft cover with color on the inside, a PDF and the soft color, it's $20, and the PDF is included free, and then boom, there you go. So you could get the, it's like 46 pages, so it's not particularly thick. It's going to be a pretty thin little booklet or whatever kind of thing. But if you are the type of person that's just like, I would like it, but I just don't like, PDFs, and well, here you go. The downside, of course, to some degree, is that with any kind of printed rule set, is that when there's an update, well, then your printed rule set doesn't work anymore. I mean, it does, but it doesn't update. You see what I'm saying? Whereas the PDF, if you get a PDF through Wargame Vault here, and then in 6 months they update the PDF, you just get access to it for free, but you won't get another book, like printed book. So just something to keep in mind. But yeah, it's pretty cool that you can do that now too. Humidity lowering, so now I can resin print without the AC, so I can use the kitchen window I intended to use it with. There you go. I think there's a lot less in the Armageddon launch box. Just seems lackluster. Yeah, I mean, I bet it's going to cost more than 2, so there's that too. Orcs look pretty good. However, I have orcs, more orcs than I could shake a stick at. I have all that I ever need to play any game that I want. Yeah. Where is Combat Patrol? I don't know. That's a good question. I have a question. What are your thoughts on paper miniatures for war games like the ones OPR does? Greetings from Argentina. I think if you enjoy using them, then they're great. I mean, the first like miniature game that I ever played was with not paper but cardboard, little cardboard standees. When I was in 7th grade or 8th grade, somewhere in middle school, the first game I ever played was BattleTech. And the BattleTech set didn't have, back then in the 80s, didn't have plastic miniatures. It had little cardboard standees. And then all throughout college, we played Car Wars. And Car Wars, we just used we didn't use little cars. We used little cardboard, they were just laying flat. They didn't stand up, but you used cardboard like chips basically as your cars. So, I mean, it's nothing wrong with it. Like, I like miniatures, so I'm going to generally use miniatures, but I'm not going to say someone is wrong for using the paper stuff. You can still play a really fun game that way. A little over a month till TMX? Indeed. When it comes to orcs, that series of buggy sculpts that came out with the Speed Freaks game are still the best release in the last 10 years. I remember those. I'm just here for vibes. Well, I mean, the problem is that you guys couldn't see me. Sorry. If I were to acquire more orcs, they would be 2nd edition era models. I'm not interested in Old Hammer. I know that makes me some sort of a bad person. I'm okay with that. I see a lot of videos about people who just love the old Warhammer stuff and the old aesthetic and all that kind of stuff. not for me, man. Like, I don't know. I want to see newer models. I always want to see newer models. Yeah, like the old stuff. Just not a fan. I got interested in miniature skirmish games for about a week, as one does when going through a divorce. I've moved on, but so love the sound of your voice that I still watch your videos. Well, I appreciate that. You could always go back to it, you know. Let's see here. It's really weird that it isn't Steel Legion since the trailer had Yarrick. They are way overdue for an update. Add in Armageddon, Orc Hunters, no Blood Angel throwbacks that intentionally look old. Yeah. I was surprised by that too. That they also were like, yeah, well, let's make some Primaris guys, but make them look like they're wearing the old armor. Well, you know, you got to recycle. And you're like, all right, man, whatever. I think it's honestly just trying to throw a bone to the camp that's like, I don't like the way the new Primaris look. I like the old guys. I was a little surprised I didn't see a Beaky in there, really. Let's see here. Good morning from cloudy and crisp Juneau, Alaska. Love the channel and try to watch every chance I get. I've never really messed with OPR. How do you like it compared to Fistful of Lead or Space Weirdos? Well, I'll be honest. One of the things I like about it in comparison to Space Weirdos is that it is the same price. It is $5. Which is how much Space Weirdos. Space Weirdos has got the benefit of it's literally 16 pages long and it's very, 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 very simple. Grimdark Firefight is not as simple, but I still do enjoy it. It's funny when I hear people who are like, well, it's not, you know, really deep or anything like that. And you're like, how deep do you need? Like, I look at Kill Team, the current version of Kill Team, and I'm like, no way, not in no way am I playing that. There's just so much, like, you know, tactics cards and stratagems and all this extra add-on garbage that I'm just not interested in. The thing that I love about Grimdark Future Firefight, and so far all of the games I've tried from OPR, is that they've got the game, even in the advanced rule book, like this one here, they've got the game, and then at the end of the book, or towards the end of the book, like this is a 46-page book, and somewhere around page 20 or so, the core rules are done, and then after that, it's all just advanced or add-on rules. So if you're like with your friends, you're like, okay, we like playing with like this add-on, like we like the command points, and we like this, and we like this, and we like that, but we don't like this, and this. You can play that way, and it's very simple. And people will say, well, you can play that way with any game. Sure. But this is laid out to say, this is the core rules that makes the engine run. These are the add-ons, the spoilers, the cool rims, the those weird lights that you put underneath your car to make it look like you're in Fast and the Furious, those types of things. Those are the extra bits you can add on, or not if you don't want to. As a matter of fact, right here, you have advanced rules, terrain placement, deployment styles, extra missions, side missions, extra actions, random events, battlefield conditions, terrain and objectives. And then there's total conversions, fog of war, tactical phase, command points, critical hits, suppression. Like having suppression in a skirmish game, if you like that thing and you think it's cool, you know, there's not a lot of them that do that, but this one's got it built in. Multiplayer games, kitchen table games, and then there's even tournament guidelines if you want to play like real serious, you know, and solo and co-op, like all that stuff is all added in there, which is really cool. I love Space Weirdos as well. It's incredibly stripped down in comparison. So if you're looking for just like a really fun, little quick, simple, very stripped down thing, I would tell you to look at Space Weirdos. Space Weirdos is also getting a new edition because they're working with Osprey. There's going to be a new edition of Space Weirdos coming out that's not just a PDF. It's going to be an actual printed book from Osprey. I think probably like one of those blue books that Osprey does. I think, but I could be wrong. But yeah. Fistful of Lead I've never played, so I don't have a good comparison there. Still haven't played anything from OPR, but I did get a paper copy of Age of Fantasy Regiments recently. Fantasy Rank and Flank is my jam. Nice. New Lunchbox is a no-go for me. Launchbox, right? I was like, what? Like, you're getting a lunchbox? I have enough Space Marines and Orcs. They're not my thing. Yeah. Let's see here. Good morning from St. Louis. I'm eagerly awaiting the Gen Con events list release. Oh yeah, that's supposed to happen, what, today or tomorrow, I think? Morning, Uncle Adam. Did you ever get your 30-minute mission kit built? Nope. They're still sitting. There's two of them. They're in boxes downstairs in the basement. Missed a trick with the mini. Should have called it Uncle Atom. Oh, right, yeah. I have 6 months to do something for Sword and Brush in November. I don't know what that is, Sword and Brush. Morning from Winneconne. Getting some armies paint printed for the Whispers Below narrative campaign with my son. Nice. Excuse me. One of these conventions, I'll get away from a booth and actually get to talk to you. We both seem to be quite busy. What did you think about that grip you got from my buddy at DexCheck? I ordered more top pieces yesterday. Or was it Friday? What's today? Sunday? It was yesterday. Yeah. I like it a lot, but I only had the, because it comes with 2 of the little ones. Well, it comes with 4, but 2 of them are like normal magnetic ones, and then 2 of them have that like silicone cork on the top so you can stick stuff into it or whatever. And then but I want more of the standard ones because I bought at the booth there at Adepticon, I bought 4 of the bigger ones too. So, but I only had 2 of the small ones or the regular size ones, I guess. So I like the handle quite a bit. I really like the fact that there's a magnet in the bottom, so that I can then, like, I have a metal tray that I can keep on my desk, and then I can just have it set there and it won't tip over because of the magnet, which is really cool. So yeah, I actually literally ordered 2 more sets of 4 of those toppers. Yeah, it was yesterday, I'm pretty sure. I think I got a shipping notification already. Maybe. A shipment from order is on the way. Yep. Track your shipment. So yeah, I'm sure it'll start moving on Monday because, but yeah. Not nostalgic enough to go back to Armageddon. It was the 2nd edition in-box campaign. Yes. Feisty Crabman, how you doing? Delightfully cool Central Texas. Nice. Good morning from a finally sunny Edmonton. I think your video is off. Yeah, I'm very stupid. I'm very stupid, and I apologize. Morning from Sarasota, Florida. How you doing? Working on some Warhammer Fantasy Minotaurs. We use generic Pelican cases and hand cut our own foam. I have a Pelican case that I used for photography stuff in the past, and I think I need to get a new insert for it for either probably for different photography stuff. But yeah. Is Adam's camera? Yes, my camera was off. Sorry. So sleepy. I just woke up. Oh my goodness, Fangazi. I hope you had a good nap. No camera today? No, yeah. They had some of your bags left at Adepticon this year. Yeah, on the first couple of days of Adepticon, the Battle Foam folks had like 5 of the bags left. And I walked by and I was like, where did these come from? And they're like, well, we always hold on to some, even though we say it's sold out, we hold on to some because when you ship, somewhat like, I don't know, FedEx could drive into the river like they do, or whatever. And then a person's like, oh gosh, I didn't get my bag. And then we got to send them a new bag. So we always hold on to some, even though we'll say, oh, they're all sold out. We still hold on to some just in case there's a problem. And then we can replace it, yada, yada. And they're like, at this point now, it's a year later. So problems are all solved at this point. And so they brought the last like 5 of them, I think, to Adepticon, and then they sold out there. So yeah. Shout out to the Great Clash, the biggest Age of Sigmar competition in the province of our own version of Adepticon. Nice. Podcast today. Unfortunately, hello from Northwest Indiana, putting the finishing some Marines for LGS Farewell to 10th Edition Armageddon game. Nice. Working on my Night Lord's kill team. I have a 2nd box to double the boys. Nice. Really dig the KR trays. I don't know if I have any do I have no, I don't have a KR multi-case bag, I don't think, but I do have, there's another name that sounds German. something that starts with an F. I bought one of those once, and it's a small skirmish bag. I like small skirmish bags usually. Let's see here. Good morning, checking in from Arizona while kit bashing my Inquisitors. Nice. Greetings from Maine. Had a fun game of OPR Firefight yesterday. We will be doing a demo this month at our local gaming convention. Huzzah. Nice. Are you looking for artists for some freelance work? I mean, we're always looking for artists. We generally, like, I keep, like, if people send like a link with a portfolio or stuff, I take a look at that, and I follow on Instagram or like ArtStation or any one of those places. The guy that we found for the artist for Repent, our new game coming out, we found him on ArtStation. Yeah, his name is Darius something with a K. It's long and Polish. Kielizek, Darius Kielizek or Kielizek, something like that. Super good though. Really, I'm really looking forward to you folks taking a look at it. Good morning from sunny and cool Cleveland. Looking forward to Gen Con 2026 events drop later today. That's right. I keep hearing about that. Painting Stargrave minis while thinking about scratch building some terrain. Nice. I only have the Tabletop Minions Battle Foam bag. The Molly straps are pretty cool, but I don't know why I'd need to put my mag pouches on my minis bag. Well, they also, I mean, there's lots of different things out there that use the Molly patches, so you can attach other little pouches. They even sell other little pouches that attach if you just are like, well, I would like a little bit more space for my cell phone or for more dice or whatever. That's kind of their thing. I've got one of the slightly bigger bags from them that's got like a smaller pouch attached to the side for throwing in, like, I don't know, cards and stuff like that. We flying without camera intentionally? I'm just a moron. That's all. It's fine. Sorry. Let's see here. We had a title screen from the time you should. Yes. I screwed it up. We really need to expedite those proofs. Man, I wish that they would. I really wish. Like, I feel like if you are a publisher and you're ordering a proof, you should get some sort of special treatment. That's very fancy of me, but it does seem like it would be a good idea, but they don't. I think it's because the printing company doesn't care. Like, Wargame Vault would love to make that work. And we've talked to our rep at Gen Con. We've had meetings with him the last several years, and he's always like, yeah, we would love to be able to tell this big company, hey, kick this to the front of the line, but they just don't. So what you going to do? But yeah. I forget to hit start stream the other night and was doing all things for 20 minutes before I realized I wasn't broadcasting. I've had the mic off, obviously, plenty of times because OBS sometimes is just like, nah, dog, we're going to turn off the mic. I don't know why. Batch painting 20 skeleton archers for Bone Reapers while my daughter reads beside me. Nice. That sounds like a good time. I'm using Final Girl miniatures from some Call of Cthulhu investigators, getting them primed for painting. Nice. Loved seeing you bring up Shock Force. I'm a nerd for the K-Force Shock Force Demon Blade miniatures, hoping to collect all the orgs eventually. They're the Mafia orc equivalents in that world. Oh, yeah, I remember them. Yep. I'd completely forgotten they made a game based off of Gwar, too. I got the latest 2 Trench Crusade boxes that appeared at the FLGS this week. Very cool models. Yeah, they're very cool. Good morning from Southern New Jersey. How you doing? The Nerdworks Trench Terrain, that's the stuff. That's the stuff that I got. Nerdworks with 2 R's and an X on the end. Yes. Nerdworks Trench Terrain is great. It takes a good amount of time to get a table's worth, but it's a pretty complete system. Yep, that's the stuff that I picked up yesterday. They had a bundle where you got like 2 different kind of sets of stuff. And so it was like, I don't know, $20 maybe. So I got that. I've been painting for fun for 3 years. I've also played some Spearhead. I've resolved to buy the 11th edition box and learn 40K. Any advice? Painting the Marines as space sharks for silliness. Advice. Keep in mind that there is a game called Grimdark Future from One Page Rules. Just I just, yeah, I can't give you any advice to play 40K because I can't play 40K. I can't. Sam and I tried. We were doing combat patrol at the beginning of 10th, and they just kept moving the goalposts and changing the rules like every 3 months and everything, and just like we just got tired of it. So yeah, I can't give you any good advice for that, except for the idea that don't forget those models will all be completely usable in Grimdark Future. So Grimdark Future is different than Grimdark Future Firefight. Grimdark Future is the Grimdark Future is like the army scale game, right? Where you play with like, squads and all that kind of fun stuff, right? Whereas Grimdark Future Firefight is the sci-fi skirmish game, but they kind of use rules that are, there's some similarity there. So you're not like, it's not like a completely different game. Kind of like, how Kill Team and 40K are very different from each other. You have less of that in Grimdark Future versus Grimdark Future Firefight. So, but yeah. The Centauri Carbon is a really good printer. Centauri Carbon. I've never even heard of that company. Has there been word on Combat Patrol? I haven't seen anything, but to be fair, I'm not paying the closest of attention, but I haven't heard anything. They changed every start collecting box for it. Dropping it would be peak GW, though. Exactly. That's my concern, is that they would go through and change all the boxes and make them all garbage, in my opinion, because they're all just like, oops, all troops. And then they'd be like, oh yeah, and you're not going to have Combat Patrol anymore. Like, Combat Patrol was designed to get people into the game. It would make complete sense they would decide to drop it. Like, why not? Of course. But I don't know. They just haven't talked about it at all, which is very strange. You'd think that, like, when they announced 10th edition at Adepticon, that's when they also announced Combat Patrol and the changes they were making and the whole idea for it. I bought a Combat Patrol box the next day at Adepticon, so I was ready to go. They haven't said a peep about it, and it's been more than a month since Adepticon. So I don't know what's going on there. It's very strange. Any tips for getting back into the hobby after a couple years and moving cities? I would tell you to look at Skirmish stuff. I would tell you to go to your local shops, if there's any local game shops, and see if there's like a Discord for the local people at the shop, or some other sort of like communication, and see if you can find people locally to play that way. There's still not a good app or anything like that out there. You know what I mean? There's nothing like that out there yet, unfortunately, which is crazy, but it's, we tried doing it with Game 4, and we were going in the right direction and things were awesome until the pandemic. And then, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be real interesting. Let's see here. They say each force in the new Armageddon box will be a Combat Patrol. I mean, I'd hope. I mean, honestly, in the last box, I mean, the Space Marines Combat Patrol was 12 models. I mean, it was, yeah, that won't be hard. OPR is great, especially when you don't play often, intuitive, fast playing, and fewer gotcha moments. Absolutely. Yeah, the gotcha moments are the thing that drive me nuts about 40K, frankly. I never liked rules as PDFs until I got a tablet with an e-ink screen that solved the problem. Yeah, I can see that. Super convenient to read at a table or wherever I want. Yeah, I love using my tablet for that. First game of Rogue Trader and Warhammer Fantasy Battles was with the cutout totals. Yeah. Wylock used to use cardboard minis on his 3D terrain. Fortunately, he came to his senses. I mean, I don't have any problem with that kind of stuff. Tokens, I see. OPR's Army Builder is really nice. I've always list building for models I have. Yeah. So I have this idea, and I do need to talk to Param about it at some point, I think. But click. Okay. So when you go to let's say, here's the one-page rules. Oops, sorry for clunking the mic. Here's the one-page rules website, and Grimdark Future Firefight is the game that I like. and you go down here to build your army, and then you build on Army Forge. Now, these are all the official one-page rules army books, and they are adjacent to 40K, for the most part. Battle Brothers, sure. Prime Brothers, sure. Human Defense Force, yep. But some of them are a little like the Eternal Dynasty. Initially, I thought this was the Tau, but technically the Tau Union is the Tau. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And there's also Saurian Star Host. There are no space lizards in 40K. And there's also now some rat guys, I think, somewhere. Or there's jackals as well, and the Ratman clans. So they're adding other stuff, which is cool. But these are the official books. Then up here, you also have creator books. Now, the video I did 2 weeks ago, where I talked about how I didn't know that this was here. These are all a bunch of things, and there's a bunch of new ones coming out in mid-May that are going to have all kinds of different... how am I trying to say this? Basically, like War Machine is going to have a whole new set of models that you can buy and download and print. And then they will have stats in Grimdark Future Firefight to play with War Machine models and like lots of other ones. But they already have a bunch of partners that they work with currently, like, Mini Wargaming. And you can see the Mini Wargaming army books. They've currently just got the one. It's Steel Spectres. And you go here and then it loads. And you say, I would like to create a new list, please, for Grimdark Future Firefight. And I would like it to be 200 points or 300 points or whatever you want. And then you create your list. And then you can go, okay, well, these are all the different, types of units. You've got heroes and you've got core units. So you need a hero. All right, well, let's go with a lieutenant. So you click that guy here. You click the plus, and now you can add him to the list. And then over here's all of his stats. You can tweak his loadouts and all this stuff. It's an amazing army builder. It's, I say all the time, it's the best one out there. Also, you guys can't see what I'm doing. I am terrible today. My head's all fuzzed up. Anyway... Jesus. So anyway, let me go back and do that again because I'm an idiot. Okay. So you go here. This is the Grimdark Future Firefight website. You click on Build Army Force. Here's a bunch of OPR official books. Prime Brothers, Ratman clans, High Elf fleets, stuff like that. And then you click on Creator Books, that little middle tab there. And that's where all the stuff is that I was just talking about. And then you can go to Mini Wargaming, and then you can say, I want to look at the army book, and I want to do this. And then I want to start a 200-point list and create list. And then here's all the different things, right? This is very, very good. This is a very, very good system. It works well. You can just click on it without adding it and see like a bunch of information over here. And then you can either click the little plus right over here or click add to my list. And then boom, it puts it in your list. Your list is in the middle, yada, yada. And then you add stuff and then you click the little eyeball over here and then it will show you what your sheet is going to look like. When it's time for you to sit down and actually play, it will process this little thing and make a little sheet for you, in theory, that will show you all your stats and all the stuff and everything like that. Plus also the special rules, or maybe it won't. Does my internet die? Anyone know? Or maybe I don't have enough dudes yet? I mean, that could be. Well, normally that's what you do, and then it works. I'm not sure what's going on right now. But anyway, and you can have, stuff that's set up, designed to be like, this is like a force organization chart so that things aren't like out of balance and stuff like that. And it keeps track, like currently I have 3 units, it's 90 points out of 200. And then you could go in and say, well, this guy here, he doesn't have any, this is the only kind of loadout he gets. I can give him an upgrade of a bounty for free, but otherwise these guys are just normal. Whereas the lieutenant has all kinds of, I could give him a stealth cloak for 10 points, which will bump him up to 50 points. I could give him a master heavy pistol. And now up here, it says he's got a master heavy pistol and a stealth cloak and yada, yada. So it's cool. But the thing that's even more interesting to me lately, oops, I should have done not. Okay. The thing that's even more interesting to me is that there's also these things called community books. And there's a lot of different community books put out there by people who are making their own books. And to make your own books, you have to click on Studio up here. And you also have to be a Patreon supporter, at least at the $5 level. And so when you do that, you then link your account to this. You link your account to your Patreon account to your One Page Rules account, which is very simple to do. And then you can go into the studio thing, and then you can start building your own stuff, which is something that I have had this idea lately that I want to try to do. And that's what I want to talk to Pram about at some point. But I think it would be fun to design some books to work with Grimdark Future Firefight, and then put them in the community area or do something so that people could get access to them and then play. And I'm just thinking about like not attaching them to any models. I'm thinking about just total kit bashing and stuff like that. But I kind of want to make my own series of little books for several different forces for my own kind of like it'd be almost like designing a game, except the engine's already built and taken care of by somebody else. And I'm just going through and kind of building some stuff. And it's not something that we would do like Vince and I together, because it's not like I'm not going to sell anything. It's just something I think would be a fun community project. And if people were interested, they could download, the stuff and they could build things and whatever. Maybe I don't know. So this is an idea that I've been having lately about Grimdark Future Firefight. I need to learn more about how the studio thing works, because it's not, I wouldn't say it's particularly simplistic. I think there's a lot of depth to it, and I don't understand. I started messing with it and I don't quite understand everything yet. So I need to find some resources to help me learn some of that jazz a little bit here. But yeah. I'm a Gene Stealer cult player, so I got to love the old stuff. Well, there's still a decent amount of new stuff, isn't there? I like newer models, but I love old GW aesthetic and art. It's outrageous, but it's a feature, not a glitch. Gotcha. Nostalgia for Old Hammer in your household. I'm a fan of Old Hammer, Midsummer, and some New Hammer myself. If I didn't have a mountain of second edition era stuff to plow through, I might focus on something else, but yeah. Morning from Racine. How you doing? I've turned a couple of dozen old Space Marines from the 90s to Red Corsairs with the upgrade sprue and some kit bashing, so the old Firstborn minis are perfect. I don't like the old Space Marines anymore. I made a whole video about how I fixed the stupid Grey Knights by basically getting different bodies for them from I had some different bodies 3D printed from I forget. I have to go back and watch the video. I don't remember who I got those bodies from. Puppets War, maybe? Somebody like that. Love me some Beacon Marines. Corvus pattern armor is great. So Sonic Sledgehammer, great YouTube channel. He did a video recently about something called a Scrungaloid. All right, YouTube, Sonic Sledgehammer. These. Anyway. There. That thing. So it's obviously based off of like old Space Marine design, but they're like tall, like Primaris guys. This is a 3D print. So I don't know exactly what a Scrungaloid or Scrungaloid is, but it's evidently some rules and then some files you can get and all kinds of stuff like that. And so I just thought it was kind of interesting, but he like painted some of these up and I was just like, those are crazy looking. Like I kind of like it, but like he did a great job painting it, don't get me wrong. It's the sculpt where I'm like, yeah, I mean, I can see the old aesthetic there, obviously. Like that pistol's very old looking and all that kind of stuff. But it is interesting to see. And I don't know that it would something that I would get and try out, but I do want to take a look at the game at the very least. I think it sounds interesting. And I like the word Scrungaloids or Scrungaloids or however you pronounce that. That's a lot of fun. But yeah, so I've if you get the chance, check this video out. It's relatively recent, like 3 days ago, from Sonic Sledgehammer. You guys should be subscribed to Sonic Sledgehammer anyway. I am. I'm just not with my. I have two. Well, technically, I have three now. YouTube accounts. I have my personal account. I have my Tabletop Minions account, and there's also a Snarling Badger Studios account. So my personal account that has YouTube Premium on it and doesn't see ads. That one has. That one's the one that I'm subscribed to Troy here. But yeah, it's a cool thing. So if you're interested, take a look at his recent video. If you're looking for some beaky kind of old school looking kind of stuff. Armageddon Launchbox, no terrain. I mean, I don't think any of the recent ones have. So the last one was called Leviathan, and I don't remember that coming with any terrain, did it? I don't think so. And then the one before that was called Indomitus, and that one had Space Marines versus Necrons, and that one I don't think had any terrain either. I don't think. Back in my day, we had genetically engineered super soldiers. We didn't need super duper soldiers. Yeah, but Primaris Marines just look better. I mean, you can't deny it. I mean, you can if you want to. You'd be wrong. OPR's modularity is so good, lots of options. I agree. Afternoon from Erskine, Scotland. Been at May Day events. Looked at OPR, but I found I prefer how Mantic do rules building my orcs later. Interesting. I have like itchy. OPR is just rules. If you want deep, go read the 40K lore, put it together in your head, and now you've got your depth. Well, I don't care about lore. So when I'm talking about deep, I'm not talking about deep like lore. I'm talking about deep like rules. Like there's too much depth to 40K rules, in my opinion. And there is lore, I guess, technically for OPR. But again, like I said, I kind of don't care. As far as I'm just not into lore. Feldher, that's it. There you go. Where are we at? There we go. Morning from sunny Cleveland. Sunny days do happen here. Well, that's good to hear. People complain about Mantic having no lore, and I literally point to the novels. I've never seen any novels from them. That's cool. Just finished assembling an entire kill team squad of sister novitiates that I haven't done much for 4 years. Finally assembled them all. Well, nice. It's been 12 years since the first OPR. The core mission of a free, easy to learn, and fast rule set is still there, but we're doing a lot more now. Yeah. I mean, there's tons of not factions, all the little add-on books, scenarios, and all kinds of stuff like that. Age of Fantasy, Tales of Tyria, Volume 2, Sirius Chronicles, Volume 2. There's just, because there's the other ones, Regiment, Skirmish, Fantasy, Warfleets. But there's all these other booklets and things for both Star Quest and all kinds of fun stuff. Lots of different add-on things as well. So yeah, it's been more than just the rule sets for quite a while now. Afternoon from Puckle Church, just chilling today. Nice. Did it last week. They're all ready for painting. I painted the first half of the squad when I first bought them, but lost interest within the first year of getting them in distractions IRL. That'll happen. We have vested interest in keeping the community happy because we're Patreon funded. Well, sure, exactly. Got my shipping notices at 10 a.m. local time this morning. Nice. Where are the grips from? They're from a company called DexCheck. DEXCHK.com. Poke. They're not what I would call inexpensive. I'm not going to lie, but it's a really nice grip. It's like a really nice rubber grip part. I think the other parts are predominantly 3D printed, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I picked it up at Adepticon, but the problem is that, well, I bought it at Adepticon, but then they had to ship it to me later because the rubber grips were not in stock yet. They were supposed to be at their factory or whatever. I don't know, something like the 7th of March, but FedEx was driving them around on a grand tour of the country, as they are wont to do. And so basically I paid for it at Adepticon, and then a couple days later, or 3 days later, or a week later, it showed up because they had just gotten, I think I wouldn't be surprised if FedEx dropped the stuff off while they were at Adepticon. But yeah, so it's I like the handle quite a bit. It's a nice big, like, good size handle, and I've got big mitts. And like I said, it's got a magnet on the bottom, so when you attach it, like I have a little metal tray that sometimes I use, and then I can just set it on there, and then it's less likely to tip over because it is tall. You know what I mean? Like, the little ones are slightly less likely to tip over because they're lower center of gravity, but even then still, but the tall ones definitely, if they do fall too, you're coming from a higher height or whatever. But yeah, the magnet on the bottom, I think, is a smart move. So that Armageddon box set has some smashing models, mostly the orcs. There's a few decent Space Marine models that I liked more. Gotcha. Just wondering if you have any opinions on Star Wars Legion and Shatterpoint. Have you invested much into either? Would you just play either game with OPR? One thing, I'm a little surprised that there's not official OPR, unless there are, and I just don't know. I'm just a little surprised there's not official OPR army books for the Star Wars Legion game. I'm surprised there's not like a Galactic Empire-y type of thing and a Rebel thing and all that kind of stuff. Unless, again, like I said, maybe there are and I'm just not paying close enough attention. But yeah, I think that that would be pretty cool. That being said, I do have I have an 800 point painted Galactic Empire army. And then before I got to play a game, then they changed it that you need 1,000 points, and they changed all the rules and did all kinds of crazy crap and all that kind of stuff. And so the one guy that I was like, I bought a bunch of stuff for Star Wars Legion, even beyond the 800 points. Like, I was like, oh, I'm going to build a rebel force at some point too. And I bought a bunch of stuff and everything like that. And now I need to sell it because I'm not going to be using it. But I will hopefully someday still get to actually play a game of hopefully, because my friend he's got a rebel force and I've got Galactic Empire, and my hope is that we can still get together and play at some point. But we're going to have to like refigure out all the rules. And like I said, we're going to have to add more models and blah, blah, blah. So just bought a new Bamboo Lab X2D. Can you recommend some terrain to break it in on? X2D. I didn't even know there was an X2D. I haven't heard that one. I've heard the P2S. I'll have to look. Cool. As far as terrain, I don't know. I like stuff from... what have I been getting lately? My mini factory. What have I bought recently? Well, I did buy... Is that a name? It is. Cool. I don't know how you pronounce this here. TXARLI, Charlie, Tixarli. I'm not sure. These guys make a bunch of really super cool stuff, I think. These guys are great for terrain. Printable terrain, please. There's another great company that's just called Printed Scenery. I don't know if Printed Scenery sells their stuff on My Mini Factory or not. That I'm not sure of. But then there's also, let's see, Printed Scenery, these guys, warscenery.com. I would definitely check them out. They're also pretty spectacular. Warscenery.com. Like if you are looking for like stuff that is Star Wars-y looking, kind of, Tatooine or whatever. Why can't I scroll? Okay, well, that's cool. I'm just not being able to computer today. I don't know what the deal is. Why can't, there we go. Now I can scroll. But they've got like everything. Like whatever you're looking for, they've got it. All. Can I scroll now? Thank you. So they got stuff that looks kind of Taoish. They got stuff that looks like Star Warsy. They got stuff that looks these crazy buildings, which I think are designed for like Legions Imperialis. So they're smaller and stuff like that. They got Hoth stuff. They've got some vehicles even. That Imperial Blizzard assault tank is pretty cool looking. Stuff that looks Eldar, other stuff that looks Star Wars, more stuff that looks Star Wars, stuff that looks like it came out of the Dawn of War video game. Like, yeah, they just keep going. Like, there's tons and tons of stuff. So War Scenery stuff is really good. I've printed a bunch of it. But then also this company that I can't pronounce is pretty cool. I printed some really great rock formations from them. Ooh, ice crystal terrain. That's pretty cool. These things. I used these. Come on, there you go. I printed all of these for. I'm using these in photography for Repent Ye Foolish Gods. So they're in the background in a lot of the photography for Repent Ye Foolish Gods, but they're really super cool looking pieces of terrain as well, and they print really easy. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there, but I'm a big fan of printing terrain, so definitely take a look at those guys and printedscenery.com too. They do just like astounding work. Printed scenery. Why can't I type today? Sorry, it's printable, not printed. Printable scenery. Yeah, they make like they make, if you're into, let's say, I don't know, Mordheim, this is all you need. Like they will make so much crazy shenanigans for Mordheim, like everything that you're going to need, just everything. It's nuts. Yeah, they do amazing work. So that's another thing to look for if you're into like fantasy stuff. We play Grimdark Future, but create our own lore to make more of a sci-fi gothic horror game. No one can touch or change your own lore. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Stoked about it when he first showed it to me. Thought I bought one right after the show, and the magnetic base is great to throw on a striker plate on the desk. Yep. Wondering from South Carolina, was curious if you have a friend group that will try all these indie skirmish games you talk about. All these games look fun, but locals by me don't want to put down 40K. You got to find different people. That's the trick. Like we play, first of all, I play a lot of solo stuff too, or co-op, but I do have some friends that'll play other games as well. Like Sam and I have been playing, for example, and hopefully again, the next week or two, we'll hopefully get together, be able to play, Trench Crusade for one. And I also want him to, oh, we're back. Are we back? Do we have internet again? Are we back? There we go. I think we're back. Anyway, when you go to the Grimdark Future Firefight official books, there are Gangs of New Eden, which I don't know if you have to use Gang Wars to use these, or if these are something you can use in regular Firefight. So I don't know the answer to that. But yeah, I don't know what happened there. That was strange. The internet just sort of crapped out for a sec. Let's see here. Where were we? Here in Spain, we try to grow a bigger community of OPR over time. Already some tournaments and narrative campaigns. That's pretty cool. Looking forward to the new game. Any particular minis I should look at grabbing from somewhere to start? Would Knucklebones be the right aesthetic? It certainly could be. The main thing you're going to want to start with probably for your bad guys is definitely some sort of like evil cultists, evil fantasy cultists with like swords and axes and, you know, that type of stuff, daggers. I would definitely start trying to come up with some cultists. Your sept, which is your group, it's the four models that you control. they are all going to be basically like normal kind of dark fantasy tropes, fighter types, spellcaster types, roguey types. Those are the three main kind of. There are 6 different types of we call them warriors. So there's 6 different types of warriors that you can put in your sept, but you can only take 4 of them in a sept. But yeah, I believe that the main thing is there's like some fighter types, some fantasy or fighter types, spellcaster types, and rogue types. But then when you are going up against the bad guys in this game, you're basically starting by having to chew through a bunch of cultists, evil cultists. And then after that, you start heading into like lieutenants, and then eventually champions, and then eventually you get to fight against a god. So that's a fun piece of model too. Let's see here. Max Pedition makes many cool molly pouches. Interesting. Making your own lore is awesome. Freedom and creativity is always the best choice. I agree. Many don't realize the size of OPR, the base sizes in OPR are just suggestions. A little weird for competitive, but awesome for customization, throwing games together quickly. I mean, everything in the world is of tabletop gaming is a suggestion. Like, it's not like if you decide to play with the wrong size base in a game that the police are going to come. I mean, GW might kick you out of their tournament, I guess. Maybe. Oh well. I mean, that's the best that they can do. I've used Tabletop Tyrant storage foam. I've never heard of that. But recently, I've mostly switched over to using Warmag magnets and base sheets and really useful boxes. I wish we had a really useful boxes store, but we don't. The Gallowdock terrain walls is an ongoing painting project. They're turning out... Oh, Gallowdark. Right. Yeah, they're cool walls. I don't personally know that I would use them in a game. They're like great for photography and stuff like that, but they're like a little... I don't know. Hello from Portland, Oregon. I'm currently painting British redcoats to do double duty in Blood and Plunder and Pirate Borg. Nice. 40K advice, if you stick with it, the game is updated constantly and the units that are good or bad shift a lot. So really focus on what you like over whatever the current rules are. Yeah, that's true. I'm with Uncle Adam. I bounced off of 40K after 20 plus years and I'm full OPR these days. Yeah. For Warhammer 40K advice, follow Vinci V. I mean, he doesn't really play 40K these days. He plays Age of Sigmar mostly. Have you seen the Last Mile game zine? I don't think so, no. Very interesting game mechanics, somewhat based off of Forbidden Psalm game engine based in post-apocalyptic game world, already converting it to OPR. No, I've not heard of the Last Mile. That's interesting. It seems Spearhead is better received than Combat Patrol, which is interesting. You're not wrong. From everything I understand, Spearhead is better received than Combat Patrol, for sure. I don't... Oh, I've been on the wrong screen again for a long time, sorry. I don't, frankly, like playing Spearhead on such a small map. Like, I like the 22 by 30. Like, our games, almost all of our games are 22 by 30, except for Majestic 13. So I think there's nothing wrong with the size, but having forces that large and then 2 of them on a board that small just feels a little weird and off to me. And that's my only issue with Spearhead. On the other hand, I do also wish that it was a slightly smaller board for Combat Patrol. What's wrong with 3x3? I like 3x3 boards. I think they're neat, but what are you going to do? Molly, how you doing? Now that practically everyone opened up their minis to OPR support, base size would be impossible to enforce. I mean, again, like the police, you know? Sting, Andy Summers, Stuart Copeland. They better continue Combat Patrols. The magazine that just started in Australia, Hachette, will drop a lot of subscriptions if it's gone. Yeah, they just haven't talked about it at all, which I find weird. Going to assemble some Saurian Starhost to learn OPR with my boys. Nice. I inherited most of my old 40K groups codexes and unbuilt models more than 20 years ago. Nice. I'm waiting for OPR to make a robot battle game that uses Gundam kits. There's been a lot of... Well, first of all, there's a robot battle game that uses Gundam kits called Chrome Rangers. It's made by this plucky little company called Snarling Badger Studios. It came out last fall, and it is it's in Snarl 2025. So if you're interested, let me go back to the internet again. There we go. Mech Fighting Madness, Snarl 2025. Come on. So yeah, you basically you have one like mech between 5 and 8 inches, and your opponent has one, and you play against each other on a 3x3 board. It's called Chrome Rangers. So yeah, the PDF costs $8, so you can check that out if you're interested. Anywho, but I've had a bunch of people, like when I talked about OPR recently in the on YouTube, there's a bunch of people that were like, man, I sure wish they would make like a BattleTech game. So, you know, just something to think about. I was thinking about picking up the rules and stuff after 11th edition launches in the interest of playing casual games. I just refuse to pay the GW mini tax. OPR and Trench Crusade are more my jam. Understandable. Eternal Dynasty and Saurian Starhost are theirs, and Jackals. A lot of people say Jackals are like the Kroot, but they're like dogs instead of bird guys. I don't know. Kelly, how you doing? Would you ever want someone to recarry the banner and get Game 4 up and running again? I mean, they wouldn't be able to call it that, I don't think. I worked for them, so I'm not like an owner or anything with Game 4, unfortunately. Well, I mean, it's probably either way, you know. But so I couldn't tell you, hey, don't call it that, but they could, because I swear that they went as far as to get the circle R. You know how like when you trademark something, you can just put TM after it and that kind of covers you. But if there's a circle R, that means lawyers got involved and a bunch of stuff happened. And I'm pretty sure that they went down that road. And so I think Game 4's got a registered trademark, but I could be wrong on that. Nonetheless, I wish someone would. I wish someone would make something that worked. And I've seen a couple even since the pandemic kind of finally sort of mostly has gone away that have like started to do stuff. The Magnet Baron. Yeah, the Magnet Baron. He started something called the Vox Caster or something, Voxcast, or I don't. It was a name that I'm like, Games Workshop's going to get ticked about that. You probably don't want to go down that road, but whatever. And it was supposed to head in that direction where it was going to make you be able to find people in your local area to be able to play games with and stuff like that. I don't know that it's going anywhere. I think it crashed and burned. But yeah, I think someone should try. I have an idea, but yeah, I don't know. The problem is making an actual app is incredibly difficult and expensive and stupid. I would personally keep it straight in. Personally, I would make it not an app. I would make it web-based. But that's me. Let's see here. Gonna go for the night. Have a good week and see you next video. Good night and have a few more projects done. Nice. I think the Ratman clans use the Mantic Veermen or whatever they call them. I mean, you can use whatever models you want, I suppose. But yeah, you could use the Veermen too. Oh, the Ratman clans are getting their own OPR models this month. That's very cool. I just bought Rain in Hell. Do you recommend the miniature? Do you recommend miniatures to use? I'm pretty new to miniature gaming. Technically, anything can be a demon if you believe in yourself. That's the way I look at it. I actually just saw a great. What the heck was it called? I posted about it on Blue Sky yesterday. I stumbled across a really, really, really good battle report for Rain in Hell that came out like a year ago. Dice Chatter, was that the name of the channel? Yes. Right here. Boom. Come on. There we go. But first there's an ad. There we go. So yeah, this guy did a spectacular. It's maybe it's only like 15 minutes long, but he did this really great battle report. I feel like the quality of this guy's battle report is as good as GW ones, in my opinion. Like he did really astounding work. Unfortunately, he hasn't posted like a video in a year, but it's really good. So he used a smattering of different models, some from Games Workshop and some from some other places. But like I said, we have a if we go to the news section on the Snarling Badger website, here. If you go to where'd you get that demon, there's all kinds of excellent. This is a listing of all the 3D printed ones that we have in the book. And so you could, and they're all, again, they were all 3D print. Well, no, they weren't all 3D printed. Frostgrave demons. These guys were cool. Yeah, the Frostgrave Demons kit, I used some of those guys, but most of them were 3D printed. So there's that. But generally, whenever we come out with a new game, we then make one of these things, a blog post where we go, oh, this is a good place to get models. You can be like, oh, where do you, hey, here's a bunch of different purchased miniatures and here's a bunch of 3D printed ones. And so you can find all kinds of places, so if you're looking for suggestions, I would tell you to come and check out the news section. Links up there. The news section here on the Snarling Badger website, where to find models for Chrome Rangers. You can see some one-page rules. These are mechs for the Human Defense Force. Finding robots and demons for Rain and Iron. You can find that information as too. So yeah, places like that, or just type in demon miniatures into Google, and you'll find stuff there too. The new Ratmans elevate GDF to the best game in its oeuvre, which is to say that they exist at all and are way better than Mantic's. Gotcha. OPR is the GURPS of wargaming. Kinda, a little bit, maybe. Got back in the hobby after 30 years. Your videos really helped me. Thank you. Well, I appreciate that. I absolutely. I think you mentioned Puppets War last time for the Space Marine bodies. That could be. What do you think about Underworld's Ember Guards? I haven't really looked at Underworlds in a long time. I loved it initially when it first came out, when it was Shadespire. I played a good deal back then, and I painted up some different forces and stuff. And they've always made great models for the Underworlds line. Well, not always. There have been some recently that I've been like, oof, that's god awful. But otherwise, I haven't really. I don't generally like hex board games. I understood why they did it. I very strongly believe that I very strongly believe that the launch of Warhammer Underworlds was a direct response to Star Wars X-Wing, because Star Wars X-Wing was bringing a lot of new people in, and it was like a game that was not too difficult to play competitively and things like that. And I strongly believe that Underworlds was a direct response to that. But yeah. I hang out in several Discords with Erica, the Scrungaloids creator. Nice. I still haven't downloaded the rules yet. I got to take a look at it. It's free, has a great app, but you have to do a lot of work making an army first, much more granular than OPR. Interesting. Looks like the Judge Dredd comic. A little bit. +1 Marine Juice, of course, yeah. Also wrote the RPG called Flying Circus about dogfighting in fantasy World War I planes in an RPG. That is interesting. That's very interesting. I've never heard of something like that. That's pretty cool. Love the coverage of OPR. Got a question. Have you ever played any of the OPR narrative campaigns? I'm about to start one up with a friend. Not the standard ones, but I've played the Star Quest stuff, which are kind of campaigns, but they're not like the separate campaign books. I haven't played any. I've just played the normal like Star Quest stuff, but there are a bunch of Star Quest campaigns. But there's also Grimdark Future. There's a lot of different campaigns that they've put out there, but I haven't done that yet. I've only been playing the standard stuff. We kind of make up our own stuff, kind of. Scrungaloids look like 1970s Ralph Bakshi animation. A little bit, yeah. Used to play Blood Angels and thought the old Sanguinary Guard looked cool, but need a Primaris style update. It's disappointing that the new sculpts are generic and less per box. I mean, fewer per box doesn't make any sense. 40k rules as deep, I would call it artificially deep. They rely on those gotcha situations for depth. Yeah. I've been trying OPR narratives and love it. I've also been trying to write my own, fun with my son. Nice. I love OPR, kind of supported there isn't a presence by them for TMX. I mean, there is. They're going to be there. I may not, maybe we don't have any stuff in the, do I not have the stuff in the thing? Oh, maybe you don't have stuff into the thing yet, but they're going to be, yeah, they're going to be there. So there's going to be demos running all the time. If you go down to vendors down here, actually there's a vendor that's missing right now. There's an artist that's going to be there. Falling Freely is going to be there. I need to get a piece of text from her so that I can put it in here. But yeah, Falling Freely is the other vendor. And I think there's maybe another one that's looking to come and vend as well, but I need to reach back out to them because I haven't heard anything. But One Page Rules is going to be there. And yeah, I just need to get, I suppose, some demo listings in there or whatever, But yeah, there will be OPR stuff at Tabletop Minions Expo, which is coming up the 13th and 14th of June. So yeah. Not everyone can be a VJ. That's true. Snellcast idea with Vince, rules complexity and cognitive load. How complex should a rule set be without overloading your players? It should be 5. I don't know the answer. Vince is smarter than me, so he probably will know the answer. So I'm going to take a picture of this so I can remember it. Because we're not recording tonight because a new Snarlcast episode comes up tomorrow. So there's not, yeah. Stream paused. Yep, sorry, I don't know what happened there. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know what that was. Normally, I don't have too many drops. It still says 0 dropped frames, but OPR is a known liar, so there's that. But there must have been some sort of a internet glitch. Like I have fiber. Like normally, it's pretty good. But there was that time where when a cat would go behind the TV, it would reboot the internet. And that hasn't happened in a long time. So I don't know what that was. Games Workshop is bad for legal stuff. Disney will be horrendous. Oh, yeah. Our club is just getting into Legion, and we're all loving the break that it is from 40K. Also helps to have a very thematic terrain maps. Yeah. Every convention I go to, I would say that the Star Wars Legion terrain is almost always the best. When you see any tournaments and stuff like that, the Star Wars Legion terrain is always just like astounding. I have a bunch of FDM plants, vast and verdant, designed for a grid system. That's kind of cool. Has anyone bought any Bestiarum games miniatures? If so, how did you like them? Yeah, actually, they have cultists that are called like Torment cults or something like that, and that's who we're using in the photography for repent. As for our cultists, we're using their cultists as like in the book and stuff like that. But yeah, so those are cool. I haven't really messed with much of their other stuff, but I thought their cultists were really cool looking and they would fit very well. So yeah, we're hoping to actually maybe do some cross promotion with them. But we'll see how it goes. I've been talking to somebody from Bestarium. Just downloaded the OPR StarQuest PDF to try the system out. It's a great system. Terrain with the atomic mass Star Wars stuff would be amazing. Yeah. Look at models from Star Schlock for awesome 50s and 60s inspired Galactic Empire models. I keep hearing the name Star Schlock. I've never come across it anywhere. I had the same issue with Malifaux. Brought in and rules changed within 3 months twice. Still tempted to, but now paranoid. Yeah, I get that. Greetings from the garage. Getting ready to print some more Xenomorphs. Nice. If you want to play Star Wars with OPR rules, go to Grimdark Future Firefight, then click on the community button and search for Star Skirmish, Rebels, or Empire. Interesting. Let's see here. Wisconsin. I love Star Wars. Legion is so tempting. I've been saying the game and the models for ages. I'm definitely a fan of Clone Wars, and I've seen some seriously cool collections. Yeah. Got to dip out early. Got a thing this afternoon. Absolutely. Why is your group of 4 called a sept? See, I asked that question too. You would think sept means 7, but it doesn't. Like a septuagenarian, right? But as it turns out, a sept, noun, is a branch of a family, clan, or tribe, particularly in historical Irish or Scottish context, often denoting those claiming a common ancestor. It can also be widely used as abbreviation for September, which is not. Synonyms include family, kinfolk, clan, fratry, or branch. It has nothing to do with 7 in this usage, but that's what I thought too. Because when he was like, "Hey, we're going to call it sept," I'm like, "Then don't we need 7 guys?" He's like, "What?" And I'm like, "But no," as it turns out. But I asked the exact same question. I want to see how OPR will handle the release for the Gangs of New Eden. I want to see how OPR will handle the releases for the Gangs of New Eden. I'm not sure what you mean there. Office Max Depot sells really useful boxes. I'm sure Staples does as well. We don't have any of those anymore. We used to have Office Max and Staples, and both of them have closed in our area, and I don't know why. Just put your internet box upside down and tap it a couple of times and the bad electron will fall off. Oh, yeah. Point about bases in GW tournaments, I think, is important for people to remember context. Yeah, probably. Any advice for a pretty easy skirmish game to use various GW units like Felgor or Vespid to introduce under 10-year-olds to miniature skirmish games? I mean, I would tell you to take a look at one-page rules, Grimdark Future Firefight, and then just stick with the base downloadable rules to start. When you go to the website and you go to one-page rules, and then you go there, and then you go to Grimdark Future Firefight, and then down here you switch it to English or whatever language you use, and then there's core rules and beginner's guide, and these are free, and you can download them, and you can definitely start there. The advanced game is like $5 for the PDF, or again, you join the Patreon. But these would be a good place to start. Another good place to start potentially also could be a game called Space Weirdos, which is also it's just a PDF for $5, but it's a great little game. It's like 16 pages. It's a great starting game. Both of them, I think, are great places to start. This is why we need a Central Gaming Authority t-shirt. There you go. I'm a big baseball fan. Are there very specific rules about bat length and material, but ain't nobody inspecting my bat at the Memorial Weekend barbecue in a few weeks? Interesting. With Warhammer releasing 11th edition, I wonder what they will do about Combat Patrol magazine and what happens for the people currently subscribed if when they update it. That's also a good question. For those that like BattleTech but don't want BattleTech, I recommend Revelations. It has a skirmish and large wargame reel set. I've never heard of that. I have a bunch of kill teams. I have friends that want to learn. I'm considering trying to use OPR Firefight instead. I hear it's more simple, but I do like the kill team minus line of sight and climbing. Does OPR have any good co-op rules? If so, does it play well? Yes and yes. You can play co-op rules in regular Grimdark Future Firefight, but there's also something called Star Quest, which I did a video about a month ago maybe, and it's really cool. Basically you're playing with a very small group. You've got like 2, 3, 4 models, and you're fighting against you're fighting against opponents that are run by like basically kind of an AI, not like AI like everybody talks about these days, but a list of rules that say, well, is this happening? No. Well, then this. Is this? No. Okay, then this. Then do this. That kind of thing. It's the same type of stuff that we do in our games, like Space Station Zero and all the other ones that have solo and co-op play. You have a set of rules that say this is how the bad guys act. And then that way you just go, like, are they in combat with somebody already? No. Okay. Well, then have them move towards the closest bad guy. Okay, cool. Then do this. Okay. Then are they in range? Can they shoot? And it's just like an if-then list, and it kind of goes down a checklist. But yeah. Nice to see you live. How you doing, Christian? Have you seen the Rogue Trader Scrungaloids that I just did it? I just was talking about them. I showed it on, I just showed it here. It's very cool. Definitely the most interesting Space Marine release of the year in my book. Nice. Skaven and power armor. That'd be pretty cool. Sculptor has written a rule set for them. Yep. Yeah, we were just talking about that. My plan is to build townsfolk from dungeons and lasers today. Nice. I bought some Dungeons and Lasers models at Adepticon. I bought some cool, like, parasite-like looking weird creature monsters. They're pretty neat. Donnie is great, Dice Chatter, but he hasn't posted in a while. I hope he's okay. But yeah. Not able to wear the Pachow beanie because winter is gone. I get it. I can't wear, like, a knit. I wear a knit cap like most of the fall and winter and early spring, and then I get to a point where all of a sudden I'm like, nope, can't wear them anymore because I get too hot. Do you have ball caps? I don't, but he said, wait, hang on, title card. Nope. There we go. If you go to merch, if you go to the Snarling Badger website, which looks like this, and you click on merch, it takes you to our merch store, and there's merch, and I swear to God we have hats. There we go. There's a Rain in Hell baseball cap and a Space Station Zero snapback cap, and there's also Rain in Hell beanie and also Space Station Zero. I need to make more of these. I need to design, obviously, the other ones. I haven't done that yet, but it's one of those things that's always on my list. But I have printed, or not printed, I have gotten copies of these. As a matter of fact, I think there's a picture of my wife wearing them. There you go. There's a picture of my wife wearing one in our living room. And then that's the Rain in Hell one, and there's a Space Station Zero one as well. Here's a picture of my wife wearing the Space Station Zero one. Yeah, I think it's a cute picture, but whatever. So yeah, there are some that are available, and I need to do probably more. I should probably just put the logo, on a hat too. See, there's her eyeball right there. But yeah, I don't know who that lady is. That's a model. I don't know. Yeah, I need to update the store. We don't have a lot of stuff in here past Death Wizards now. I come to think of it. Like here's some Majestic 13 stuff. You know, some of the different forces. Fixing the world with technology. I need to buy that one. I don't think I have a copy of that one. I have the other ones all, but I don't think I have that one. Anyway, my point is that yes, we do have a couple of baseball caps. I don't have any in the TMX store, I don't think. Or sorry, not TMX, Tabletop Minions store. Because I also have a merch store for that. And I have the Pachow knit cap. But I don't think I have any baseball caps. I've never been a baseball cap wearer, so I have a tendency to forget that they exist. But yeah. I have so many more pieces of merch I need to put up too. If I could just get another 20 hours in every day, that'd be dope. It'd be super dope. Anyway, there you go. So hopefully that helped answer the question some. For those of us who are champing at the bit for Repent, is it possible to get the recommended minis blog without spoiling too much? Well, like I said, you need cultists, and you need. I would start there. Find yourself some cool cultists, fantasy cultists. They don't have guns; they have swords and knives and stuff like that, axes. And then for your sept, again, you're looking for kind of dark and spooky looking warrior types. What else? Magical people, you know, spellcasters, and excuse me, I have to burp. Sorry. And rogues. So I would start there and see what you can find. Let's see here. OPR got my wife to game with me and build her a fairy army. Oh, neat. That's very cool. Hello from Central Indiana. No weather to report. Working on some Vassal mini Titans. Neat. What did I say? OPR? No, OBS is a known liar. What the software, the streaming software, when it said that I had 0 drop frames, I'm like, well, that seems unlikely because I was offline for a bit. That doesn't seem right. No, OPR is, those guys are great. OBS, I don't like as much. I mean, it's free. I get it, but still, OPR Skirmish is a breath of fresh air compared to Kill Team. God, yeah. I really love the if you can't figure it out, roll a die. I mean, that's technically the case with everything. I mean, like literally in the world. I mean, maybe not. Okay, every game. Like if you're just like, I don't know how my taxes work, roll a die. That's gonna come back to bite you. Is what that's gonna do. But yes. Star Wars Legion terrain is always top notch. I also take a look at Infinity sometimes. Their theme tables, hot damn, they're impressive. Yeah, Infinity's got good tables at conventions too, for sure. Good morning from Newcastle, California, or maybe not Newcastle. Yeah, I guess it's Newcastle. Checking out Void Admiral this weekend. Nice. Pizza to be eaten. We'll have a good pizza. All excited about the pending release of Repent. I believe that Northstar either is now or will be soon offer a bundle of their various cultist frames. Oh yeah, no, they would be great too for cultists, obviously. Yeah. Merch just says death would be great. I play OPR Grimdark Future Firefight with my nephews and with my friends. It's really easy to teach kids. The advanced rules let you get as complex as you want. Kill Team does have some stuff, so why not house rules, yeah? There's also bows and crossbows. Yeah. There's definitely some range weapons and some melee weapons, for sure. Started printing an Alien Queen from Papsicle's line of Xenomorph lookalikes. They're how I learned about OPR. Now I'm looking at the Archeon Xenos army. That's pretty cool. Ve Victus, yeah, they've got lots of cultists and stuff like that, true. Ve Victus has got a lot of cool fantasy stuff. I just got done painting some Ve Victus sci-fi stuff, which they don't do very frequently, but their sci-fi stuff even looks kind of slightly medieval. It's like kind of like sort of guys in armor, like metal, like, like sort of like armor, but with blasters. They're pretty cool. I don't have the Cultist Knights yet from North Star. No, I need to order them. I didn't even know about them till relatively recently. Um, I got to chat with Nick from North Star and his son at Adepticon, which was very cool. I was standing in the Army Painter booth, and they came up and introduced themselves. And I knew that they were going to be there because I followed them on Facebook, and they said they were going. And I was like, man, I hope I can talk to them or bump into them. But yeah. Speaking of merch, just my good friend Dave, who does, I pay him. Oh shoot, that reminds me, I got to pay him. I pay him to do 3D printing for me. Bottleandspool.com, bottleandspool.com if you need things 3D printed. He dropped off some stuff yesterday that I needed 3D printed, and I need to pay him for. And he's also gotten a UV printer. So it's the inks that are printed are like basically colored UV resin. So you print the stuff onto the thing, and then you cure it with UV light, and then it is nigh indestructible. And so this is really like on there, right? So he took my logo and he stuck it on his cool dice tray thing, and he said what they're looking for online is blank ones of these, but instead of square, to have them hex shaped like the logo. And then I'm going to try to get some printed, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Like I'm trying to like I don't know, I can maybe try to figure out a way to put them in the merch store, but there's like steps that have to go into there. I doubt that they will be done by TMX, which is a downside, because he was like, yeah, I don't know if I can get the blanks and get them printed by TMX. And I'm like, well, that's fine. But in theory, something coming in the future, if you're into dice trays or whatever. But it's really interesting. Like he printed, like what do you call those things? They're like a shipping container, like a piece of terrain. He 3D printed like just the side panel on a shipping container. And if you've ever seen shipping containers, like if you're waiting at a train and they're going by, they've got that kind of like, I don't know, they're like, they're wavy. I don't know what they're like corrugated. That's probably the word you're best looking for in this situation. Which is really hard to print on, obviously. But UV printers can kind of spray a bit of a distance. And so anyway, he took the Flarg artwork that I made up, which I made stickers like this that I had at Adepticon. And I'm probably going to eventually sell these as well. These will be at TMX. Anyway, this is the made up graffiti that swear word that I came up with to put onto terrain and stuff like that. So I made these stickers before Adepticon. And so he took this piece of artwork, because I sent it to him, and he printed it on the side of one of those shipping container things, even over the corrugated surface. And they looked really cool. So I don't know that that's a thing that we would sell or do, but it was neat. Because he came to Adepticon as well, because he lives here in town. It's 90 minutes for me to get there, and it's 90 minutes for him to get there. So he came by and hung out one day and checked out a bunch of stuff and everything like that. But yeah, so these things, like I said, probably coming soon. There's other ideas I have. I would love to print like those laser cut acrylic like measuring things, but rather than the kind of laser cutting the artwork on it, just print the artwork on it with the UV stuff, because then it's like super indestructible. I think that'd be kind of a cool thing to do too. So, morning from St. Louis, creating scenario for Wild in the Streets. Nice. Northern Citadel, how you doing? Always a fun every other Sunday. Thanks, Adam. I mean, sorry for all the, talking with the title screen up for a long time and then the weird hiccup on the internet there. That sucks. I like the dice shaped or the hex shaped ones. Yeah, me too. Like I said, he had some of these in stock, the square ones, but he's like, I can get these in hex shape, but I don't know if he's getting them from Alibaba or one of those places, or AliExpress or whatever it's called. Corrugated, thank you. I watched a video of an unboxing of Wargames Atlantic Army of the Damned, and wow, something like 53 models, including beastmen and cavalry and support weapons. I think it might be a big seller. Army of the Damned? Is that just the Damned? Is that what you're talking about? Are they like guys that look kind of like Trader Guard? Or is that something else? Wargames Atlantic Army of the Damned. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's from 2023. Oh, this is, okay. That's not what I wanted. This is, yeah, this is back when they first announced what they were going to do. Like, these models have finally come out in plastic. Like, I have them now, but you can't buy them yet, I don't think. I did the crowdfunding. I think it was Game Found, and most people have finally gotten their stuff, but I don't think that it's sold yet. Let me go to new releases. No. Oh, cool. Oh, those are for Marcher or Marche or whatever. Never mind. I thought that was sci-fi hard suits, but they're not. Clasher Rifles, which is out of stock. Sorcerer. Yeah, no. Sometime this month, from what I've been told, the Damned stuff is supposed to be out, but it's not out yet, unfortunately. Like I said, if you were a supporter for the crowdfunding, you've probably gotten yours already. I got mine, but if you weren't, then you probably don't have them yet. But you will be able to buy them quite soon. But yeah, they're very cool models. Like I said, my video that comes up next week on Friday will have, I built 5 of them, and I'm going to be painting them predominantly, well, I'm going to be using historical colors on them and showing how, just because they say on the box they're historical colors doesn't mean you have to use them for historical stuff. It's this new box that's coming out from Army Painter, and it's one of their historical boxes, and it is like for British stuff. There's one color in there that's not new, and it's basically just soft tone, I think, or strong tone wash, but every other opaque color in that box is a new color, and they're just all different shades of brown and stuff like that, and tan, and I just love having access to just more shades of brown and tan. So yeah, that's what the video is going to be about, and there will be some of the Damned in there. Damned. Let's see here. Fae Victus. I think it was from somebody's Kickstarter booty that they passed on. Interesting. I used mostly AK for historical stuff. Should look at the Army Painter stuff. Yeah, they've got some really cool. The Army Painter. Basing sets and bundles. Huh. Kind of think that when you go to shop and you'd go to sets and bundle, well, maybe they're under here. Shoot. Ah, here we go. These things, yeah. So they have these sets. Is this the one? No, this is a different one. I have a different British set that's coming out very soon, I think. Yeah, it's only 10. This one's the big 21, but there's another one that's coming out quite soon that's got like 10 paints, and they're all just different kinds of tans and like kind of vague greens and a couple other colors, and they're right up my street. I don't know. Like a bunch of the colors here are like matte black, matte white, military shade. Those are all things that have already been in there. But a lot of these other ones are brand new colors, like webbing khaki and light battle dress and mid battle dress and dark battle dress and all that kind of stuff. This other set is only, like I said, 10 models or 10 bottles, but it's very cool. They work with a guy. He is a some sort of historian, and they get the colors working with, I don't think they list his name on here. No, I don't think they do. But yeah, they work with a historian. Oh, wait, here he is. No, I'm a liar. On the box, they show a picture of the guy. I just remember that. So anyway, yeah, but I'm going to be using some of those sets to, one of those sets to paint the damned guys. Where can I get some good postmodern, post-apocalyptic cultist types? If you're looking for post-apocalyptic cultists, I would tell you to buy some cultists from Frostgrave and then also some models from Stargrave, and then just mix them together. That's a good way to go, I think. All right, folks. Well, thank you for everybody for coming by and hanging out. I appreciate it. I'm going to go back to the main screen. And I really need to get one of those Stream Deck with the buttons and the little, because otherwise I'm bad at this. So anyway, yeah. Today I am mostly this afternoon working on editing the podcast and then getting that ready. And then Vince and I got our normal Sunday night meeting. Yeah, going to be busy. Basically going forward the rest of this week and going forward until TMX, there's going to be a lot of TMX talk. So there'll be stuff about that that you'll see, and that'll be great. But I've got the next 2 weeks of videos already figured out. I'm already ahead of the game slightly, so that's cool. And you guys could potentially be involved in not this upcoming video, but the video after that. So keep an eye out for that on socials and whatever, all that kind of jazz. So yeah, more about that soon. Anyway, thanks to everybody who came by and hung out and chatted and said hi. And if you get the chance, there's a little like button thing. You could click that. If you're on mobile, evidently there's a hype button. You can use something there too. I don't know. That's pretty cool. OBS is still saying no dropped frames, which I'm still very dubious of. Anyway, thank you very much, and we'll see you again very soon. And have yourselves a good weekend. Unless it's already Monday, then have yourselves a good week. And stay safe. And I think that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hey, the sun came out.